Enough containers are stacked on cargo ships that are sitting off of the coast of the United States, enough of them to stretch across half of the United States if they were laid out side by side. I almost didn't believe it. Someone sent me an article. We're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about the supply chain disruptions, the shortages, and we're going to talk about that today and more. Are there really enough containers to reach halfway or to stretch halfway across the United States? I didn't believe it, but we're going to talk about some information. Real quick, please make sure that you are subscribed. And I'm going to be your host today as we go through this information. But I have a really quick correction to make before we get started. In a previous video, not the last one, but the one before that, we talked about a CEO. We heard from a CEO, and I said he was from BlackRock. It was actually Blackstone. So thank you to the several people that pointed that out. And it's funny, some people I don't hear from down in comments until I make a mistake, and then they come out of the woodworks. But I do appreciate it. Whether it's Blackstone, BlackRock, Purple Stone, Purple Pebble, the fact is that a lot of people are coming out, financial experts, quote unquote experts, CEOs, investors, market analysts, and they're all saying the same thing, that beware of inflation. Now, on the inverse of that, we have people that say that the shortages right now can all be fixed as long as we get these containers into unloaded into the country and onto the shelves, basically. So let's take a look at the magnitude of this halfway across the United States. And this is a report out of Bloomberg. This port logjam has enough containers to cross half of the US. Now let's take a look at what that means. At first hearing this, I thought this seemed impossible. Are there really enough containers to stretch halfway across the United States? Impossible. Well, I did some research. Take a look at some of this information. Now, there have been several reports recently telling us how many ships are off the coast. It's anywhere from 65, I've even read up to 80, 90, even almost up to 100 during certain periods. Now, as of October 20th, according to American Shipper, we were at about 80 containers. So remember, 80 container ships off the coast. Now consider this, the largest ships today can haul 24,000 containers, equal to about a freight train of 44 miles long. Right now, not all of these cargo ships are the largest ones, right? There's some medium, there's some smaller ones, but overall it's enough to reach halfway across the United States. Well, when you look at how high these containers are stacked, and this is 8 high, 23 wide if I counted correctly, and then 23 this way, and this is not even the largest container ship, the largest cargo ship. This is not even the largest ship, and look how high these are stacked on this ship. All right, so let's take a look at this ship right here. This first row right here, I counted 8 high, 23 wide. Let's do some quick math on that. 8 times 23. So it's 184 containers just in this first section right here. Now it goes 23 deep. So what do we have? We had 184 multiplied by 23. That's how deep it goes. That's over 4,000 containers just on this ship. So if all the ships were this size, multiply that by 80 ships, and you're already at 338,000 containers. And some of the ships are bigger than this. So yes, it could easily be what the headlines are saying. And there were several outlets that put this out. This one's out of Business Insider via Yahoo News. Nearly 500,000 shipping containers are stuck off the coast of Southern California as ports operate below capacity. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comments, please. Are these containers, are there enough to fix the supply disruptions and the shortages? This is a lot of containers, again, stretching halfway across the United States. It's up to 500,000 containers. All right. Or do you think we have bigger problems than just the containers being backed up off the coast? And I've said here numerous times the other factors that I believe, and I believe that's outsourcing manufacturing now. A lot of the manufacturing jobs being sent overseas. We have a lot of people that choose to leave or stay out of the labor force for many reasons. And the health crisis that has many different aspects to it, but the health crisis is one of the bigger reasons. And when you look at the numbers, 25 billion worth of cargo, that's a lot of shelf space in grocery stores, department stores, what have you. Well, is anything being done to try to fix this backup of cargo ships and containers? Well, Business Insider reporting here, California port resorts to $100 per container fines to get shipping firms to move cargo from clogged up docks as record number of ships wait off the coast. Now, we've showed you reports here where they're lining some streets in some of the cities here in California with container ships and rigs hauling containers because they have no place to park all of these containers. And we've also reported here that we're seeing the trucking industry seeing about 80,000, a shortage of 80,000 truck drivers. Now, if you're someone that thinks that this can all be alleviated by getting these containers onto land and into the stores, what if the health crisis doesn't stop? What if the labor shortage is not resolved? What's going to happen to prices? Prices are already rising. What's going to happen if things don't get fixed? And we also saw a ship off of the coast of Washington that had a fire and ended up losing a lot of the containers. I believe, 40 containers, as this article points out, were lost off of a ship that had a fire.
A ship called the Zim Kingston ran into trouble Friday in rough seas as it approached Canada. High waves apparently caused some of its load to shift. 40 containers were lost overboard and are floating north now along the coast of Vancouver Island. You can see 2 stacks of containers appear gone on the ship. Several other containers caught fire. Mariah McCooey.
All right, bottom line, we need to manufacture more in the United States. Companies are afraid to bring jobs back to the United States because they have to pay higher wages because of the higher cost of living. If the cost of living wasn't so out of control, rents, home prices, energy, you name it, then workers wouldn't need to consistently ask for higher wages. But when you have an out of control money machine that's bent on inflation and afraid of any sort of deflation or price correction, you're going to continue to see manufacturing being shipped away from the country, and you're going to have more problems like this. Combine that with the health crisis, combine that with all the other things that we talk about. Things are not looking like they're going to be getting better anytime soon. That's what I think. Please let me know what you think down in comments. We're going to wrap this one up here. Enough container cargo containers to stretch halfway across the United States. Pretty crazy times, folks. But that's where we are at. Thanks everybody for being here. Stay well, stay safe, keep stacking. Bye for now. Stay positive, stay healthy. Hope you're doing well.